of successful marketing, sales, and relationships for adult small business owners and entrepreneurs, where we teach you how to have a more beautiful, wonderful business so that you can then have a more beautiful, wonderful life. I am your host, best-selling author Sadon Long, with nothing but love and joy do I greet you once again. Thank you for tuning in. Today, man, we're talking about the relationship portion of successful marketing, sales, and relationships, because even though people might forget it, people who run businesses are actually people too. They have families, they have love lives, they have ups, they have downs. And sometimes people forget that the people who own the business are actually people too. So, well, without further ado, before we jump into the Gayle King thing that I'm about to give you a little bit of background on, if you are in the Chicagoland area and you're interested in learning more about how to attract finances for your company, whether it be expansion capital, startup capital, whether it be how to get more sales, how to protect the sales that you're getting, how to protect your intellectual property, how to structure your business for the best benefit tax wise, or how to get business credit. Make sure that you are at Set Sculpting Studios at 3 o'clock on Saturday. That's right, this Saturday coming up for Elevate 2024, the ultimate branding experience. And if you're there, you're going to get to ask questions and listen to and mingle with and meet people who've perfected the systems that allow people to run really great businesses. These same people that I'm talking about who have love lives, yeah, the people in the building are going to be able to ask questions of the people who put together the processes that have generated millions of dollars, that have kept people from going to jail, that have kept people in business for years. Yeah. So if you pull up at Set Sculpting Studios on Saturday, February 3rd at 3 o'clock, you'll be able to get your questions answered. Now, mind you, there's only so many seats left, and we're not going to break the fire code just to get one more person in. So if you missed it, you missed it. But while there's still time, go over to the Set Sculpting Studios page on Facebook. There's a link there. Click the link and get your seat today. You know, because again, when are you going to be in the room with multiple people with proven practices, systems that allow you to build a business that you can pass down to your children's children? I mean, let's be real. How important is it to have some business credit? How important is it to be able to get money that you don't have to pay back? How important is it to be able to put together a business that is protected, and if it gets sued, it doesn't put you in the poorhouse? And on top of all of that, that the promotional materials and the photography and all those things are pristine, because when you look good, people pay good. Oh, and one more thing, you know, there's a guy who's going to be in the room who has a system that has generated millions of dollars for small business owners, that has allowed them to retire their spouses, that has allowed them to make money easily, invest in real estate, and do a whole bunch of other cool things as well. Okay. So again, I'm not going to give you the names today. I'm just giving you the information and asking you, how valuable is that? How valuable is it to figure out how to attract startup and expansion capital if you're a real business owner? Capital that you don't have to pay back. Don't have to pay it back. You mean like a grant? Yeah, like a grant. How important is it to get some business credit so that you could do bigger jobs, you could do multiple jobs, so that you can keep payroll flowing and don't lose your good people. So that if something breaks down that makes you money, you could get it fixed so that you can go make some more money. Because let me be clear. Let me be very clear. If you're a truck driver and the truck breaks down and you don't have a credit card to put those repairs on, you may never get back in business. And if you go down, that means your dispatcher goes down. That means your family members can't eat. That means that your truck might get repoed. And then what are you going to do? Real talk. So, again, like I said before, February 3rd, pull up, be there. Going to be a good time, I guarantee it. So, without further ado, let's talk about what I wanted to really get into today, man, which is this Gayle King thing. Now, well, Gayle King was on the pivot. And maybe some of you don't know who Gayle King is, but, maybe you've seen Gayle King on morning television. Maybe you saw her with the R. Kelly interview. Maybe you know her from Gayle and Oprah fame. But in any case, she was on the pivot you know, with, the Freaky Freddy, Channing Crowder and, Ryan Clark, you know, on YouTube. Great show. You can see the whole interview. Not going to put it in the link because they didn't pay me to. But again, she's on the show. They're talking about dating. And she says that a guy that she was dating for about 2 months, six-figure earner, good man, nice man, gave us no impression that he was a scammer or a shady character in any way, shape, or form. Been dating her for 2 months. So he comes to her humbly, based on what she's saying, humbly, based on what she's saying, and says, is there any way that you could loan me 4 grand? Okay, 4 grand. All I needed for is till Thursday. This Sunday, just needed till Thursday. You know, got to make my child support payment. And I got this furniture. Need to put a little money on that too. But when Thursday comes, you get your money back. Now, mind you, Thursday came, brother paid her money back. I'm assuming your brother don't know that he was a brother, so that's not make him something that he's not. But again, paid the money back. Good man, kept his word. So Gayle says, but I never looked at him the same. You know, and not only did Gayle say that, but hey, Oprah says, man, I would have felt more comfortable if the brother would have asked for 40,000. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because as small business owners and entrepreneurs, who we date is extremely important. So important in a lot of cases, it's the reason we succeed or fail. You know, because if you really, really care about somebody and you're an entrepreneur, you're about to take them through hell because things happen. You could be in business, things could be going very smooth, and like I just said a few minutes ago, something could break down. You could be a truck driver out there on the road getting it. Sending money home. When you get home, new J's for everybody, and then all of a sudden, truck breaks down. You could be in business and have great clients, and your best client could decide to go with somebody who promised them that they could do it faster, easier, with less stress, maybe less money, and they take your best client. Hell, you could have a tax situation. You know, a variety of things could happen and cause, as my friend Lenora says, a cash flow interruption. Okay, so now when you actually have these cash flow interruptions and you're dating, who do you turn to? You know, are you able to turn to your mate? Are you able to turn to your spouse? Are you able to turn to someone who says that they want to spend the rest of your life with you? And if you turn to them, will they judge you? Will they look down on you? Will they pity you? Will they attempt to chastise and embarrass you? Now I know the people at home right now. Some of you are saying, "Yeah, but he only knew it 2 months," and a lot of people be out here scamming people, and a lot of people be out here trying to get over on folks, and the good people always got to do stuff for the people who don't. I get it, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form encouraging you to be somebody who lets somebody scam them and take advantage of them. But what I am saying for my business owners, because this is about the business owners. So what I'm saying for my business owners is you had to be careful. Because even though she didn't say that man's name publicly, the people in their circle, they know who she's talking about. His friends know who she's talking about. Because they remember, oh, I remember he used to date Gayle and he got a kid. So even if it wasn't him, their friends are going to think it could have been him. So now, even though this man has not been outed to the whole world, he's been outed amongst his peers who know that he was messing with that woman at some point. And her friends, who she's obviously told this story to, because she done told Gayle, and now she done told the whole world, they know as well. So when you're dating, this is something that could happen if your money not right. So does that mean you don't date? Absolutely not. What it does mean is that you choose the people you date very carefully. You choose people who probably, are entrepreneurs, who have an entrepreneurial spirit. You choose people who are very patient and kind. Because if you choose people who don't respect you, that are walking around calling your event a little event, that, are saying that you don't have a real job, you know, who are judging, the ebbs and flows, ups and downs of a business as whether or not you're a person worthy of their respect and affection, you could put yourself in a real bad situation. And it could really mess with your psychological well being. I mean, I've been in situations, and man, people have said, well, you're a little event, not fully understanding the impact that the events that I have actually have on people's lives. You know, remember somebody I was very close to, they were in a profession and the person was saying that wasn't a real job. That's not a job, for a man. But guess what? All these jobs, when you first start them, there's going to be some ups and downs until you get customers consistently, until you start to be able to charge what you're worth, until you start to be able to see a profit and reinvest that profit and then open up multiple streams of income. And even then, something may happen. Even then, you may get a little bit ahead of your skis and, start spending a little too much money, start getting cars that are too big, start taking on too much debt because you think that this thing isn't going to last, isn't going to, that it's going to keep going, that it's never going to stop. And then COVID happens. Or then, there's a change in the tax code, or you find out that your business partners are stealing from you. So you got to pick people that you can trust with your emotions. You have to pick people that you can trust with what is really happening in your life. That you can honestly be like, hey man, this is a slow month, or it's been a slow couple months. And they're okay with that. I remember early on, people wanting to take vacations. And it was like, yeah, not taking no vacation. Can't do it. Mm-mm. I need to work. And they're like, well, no, you should take vacation. You work too hard. But there's a season to celebrate and there's a season to sow. And when you're in your sow season, you need to be focused on getting as many seeds in the ground as possible. And you need to be with somebody who understands that. You need to be with somebody who celebrates it, somebody who can keep you motivated and inspired because they are understanding what this is supposed to end up becoming, which is something generational that lasts for years. You think Henry Ford didn't go through some tough times? Hey, but we still driving Fords to this day. You know, you go back and you look at, people like Snoop Dogg. Man, he got ran out of California. Signed bad deal with Death Row. Took somebody else to get him out of his bad deal. Put him back on his feet. Now, how do you think his wife was looking at that situation? We done went from wow, 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 yippee yo, yippee yada. Now we need the no limit soldiers to come save us. But what you learn in those downtimes, what you learn in those dark nights, what you learn when things aren't going right for you is that I can survive. And once you start realizing you can survive, then you start realizing what you did wrong. And now you don't do those things anymore. You prepare differently. And when you prepare differently, you get different results. Number two, the thing to learn from, this Gayle situation is you have to be focused on sales. You got to be focused on sales 24/7, 365, because that is where your wealth transfer comes from. When people say somebody has $1 million business, that means that there was a wealth transfer of millions of dollars. You can call it a sale if you want. I'm going to call it a wealth transfer. Because that is what your gift is supposed to do. It is supposed to transfer wealth to you. It is supposed to pull wealth to you. That's what marketing is supposed to do. It's supposed to pull wealth, attract wealth. Attract wealthy people and get them to invest and believe in you. Because if you don't focus on sales and you start having cash flow interruptions, and you can't take these guys out, and you can't take your girls out, and you can't take, your spouse out, now you put yourself in a position for somebody to be talking bad about you in the streets. You know. Now, does that mean you won't recover? No, because obviously the man paid her back on Thursday, 4 days. But still, she never felt the same way about him again. Business owners, entrepreneurs, there ain't no perfect life. People steal from you. You own a boutique, you got somebody stealing out the cash register. You own a company, you got somebody embezzling. And those things may significantly affect your ability to socialize. So now every time you go through a cash flow interruption, now every time, your business takes a pitfall, the people around you are going to start judging you and saying that you're not a real business owner. Are going to start judging you and saying that you're not a real man or woman. Really? So again, find you a support system, but also make sure that you focus on sales. Where the hell did it? Yeah, they didn't want me to do this, y'all.